Okay, I guess we'll call this part 3. This was fun. After one day, everything worked fantastic. I came out, tried to unlock my truck. Nothing. Nothing. Try to open the outside. Nothing. Now we're in the situation where I thought we were going to be before. I'm going to open the back door here and see if I get any access to that. For some reason, the door is not unlatching now, so I'm suspecting somehow I'm going to have to figure out how to open this thing, because I don't think there's going to be a very easy way to get this inside panel off to get in here with the door closed. So let's pop around the outside and see if there's any way to get it through the back door. Well, the easy answer there is no. I guess I'm gonna have to go and see if there's any fellow YouTubers who can assist with opening this door. Clearly something has come loose with the way that was. Yeah, I think the other one was initiated, the loss of the other connection. So turn it to the right, should unlock it. Or is it turn it to the left? I think it's turn it to the right. Not that it matters any, because oh dear. Well, let me hit the internet and see what I can find out. Okay, so one of the things you need to know is, how is this thing supposed to work? So right now, with the door unlocked, and of course this is the other side, how do these door handles feel? Grabbing something. So if it's locked, what does it feel like when it's locked? Well, you can still hear that. Still feel it pulling. Interesting. Really no change in there, the way it feels. Didn't get a lot of satisfaction from YouTube. A couple of different ways people are working on them. But that is telling me this outside door handle is probably broken. But you would think that wouldn't affect the inside door handle, preventing it from opening. I said when I tried to unlock this, it felt something's funky. That's funky. Unless that's just a spring or something, but what I'm going to have to do is a little investigating. This is a royal pain with the center console getting in and out of this thing, so this is like a no-go. Thank goodness I got another vehicle I can drive. First thing I'm going to do is pull that little side panel and see if there's any way to get access to anything. Otherwise, looks like I'll have to take the seat out and try to get that door panel up and out of there, which I don't see happening because it's pinned at the bottom of those places, those little white pegs. But I might be able to take the screws out of here and get this thing to come up a little bit, because those little white thingies are plastic and they may allow it to move just a little bit. If I can get it open at the top or poke around in there, I'm not go sticking their nose in there and see if I can figure something out. Okay, so far took the little trim panel off, I did manage to get this little corner panel off in here. Check those two screws, which are 9/32, I think they are. I'm not sure what they are metric. I was able to grab a hold and pry the door panel up. So now I got some room to look. So let's go look. So as is the case with anything that you're going to try to repair, you need to know how it works, how it's supposed to work. Otherwise, how are you going to know what's not working? So the first thing I want to do is figure out, you can't see anything in there, so I'm going to stick my head in here and figure out what is not working. I know the latch is working. I know the even the power door locks, which is right there. I don't know if you can see that or not. Probably not. What a shot. Let's try the power door lock. Lock, unlock. So that's even working. Manually, you can see that's working. So the lock part of it, at least it appears to be. But I'm going to push on that a little bit and make sure that it is actually unlatching far enough. My camera's telling me my battery's going, so let me change the batteries and then find something to push on that a little farther and see. Maybe there's a problem with that. Alright, just to go over that, I reached in there with a big old screwdriver and pushed forward on that arm down there just to make sure that it was unlocking all the way, and that wasn't the issue. Does not appear to be the issue. Continuing on. And just to make sure, I went all the way to the back of the door latch and pushed on it, the lever there, to make sure that it wasn't this mechanism, solenoid mechanism was not allowing it to come forward all the way, just because. So I pushed that all the way forward. I don't know if you can see in there. So forward appears to be unlatched, unlocked I should say. But what does that do for you? I think the slop in the door handle is just worn out. I don't remember being that way, so I think it's probably broke. Which would have done just yesterday or the day before, whatever it was. I tried picking up on the door, banging it around a little bit. Still not there as far as understanding what is going on. Alright, let me keep going. Well, I ran out of light like usual, but what I saw on the other side, I was looking through the crack here, opening that one up. And you remember the other side is a sample, basically an opposite, identical. So I was looking in there, I can't see it there on top of my head. Wherever the latch is, it's hard to do it behind the camera here. And it looks like the door latch pin, the part that unlatches is underneath. There we go. Not that you can see that, but underneath the duh. I'll go over and show you on this one. So what happens over here? Well, it's closed. Alright, show you a full of that. And it releases this. You see that? Releases that latch. Yeah, nighttime sucks for filming stuff. So what I'm going to do is the pin. I'm going to reach out under here. I try to push that. You see that? Oh yeah. You damn thing. I'll push. I'll push on that. I got a variety of special tools. This one happens to be a brass, long-handled, high-torque screwdriver. I think it had something to do with trim on a turbine engine or something. I can't remember right now. Something about it being brass. Or it may have just been convenient so I could build one. Anyway, that's what I'm going to try right now. There's no way I can film doing that, so let's see what happens if I can get that popped off of there. So first, I thought about this, reaching in here and trying to push on that, but you know, if the door is unlatching and you're pulling on the door, it's going to put a lot more force on this. Let's see, when it's latched, it's actually like that. So if the door is unlatched, you're going to be able to pop that with the door pin by just pulling the door. So I looked around there, poked around, took some things and poked around down inside and tried to pull up, make sure everything was unlatching the way it's supposed to. And then I got a wild thought, I might have just lubed the thing, so I stuck my little WD-40 hand. Where am I going? I happen to have one of these. I just squirted up there in the door pin and I just squirted the inside of the thing, flipped the lock up and down, and lo and behold, the door just popped open. So it's almost like whatever was in there was just, look at that, somehow was just locked in there. Because now, that doesn't even make any sense. It just pops right on down. How on the earth could that lock so hard that I couldn't open it when it just pops open like that? So I just lubed the heck out of it. I don't know if there's something on this pin. This pin's got a flat spot, so I think I'm going to turn that so that there's no flat spot on top and get a new one of those. And I'm going to dare close this thing here in a little bit and verify that that's is going to do it. That's bizarre. That saved. I was getting to the point where I was going to go for the Sawzall method, which is to reach a Sawzall blade in here and cut that pin, which I would think would be the next easiest step to do. Not ready to quite do that yet, because I mean otherwise I don't know how you would get into the latch. So I'm going to spray the heck out of this one too, top and bottom. And you know, I think I'm just going to go ahead and buy 2 new door pins. This one's worn out too. And let's go play with that one a little more, and I'll see if I can open and close it then. Alright, so I've monkeyed around with it out here, continually to pop that and just pull the door handle. You can see that sucker just, maybe you saw that, same as a minute ago. It just pops open. Pops open. So the question is, if it goes too far, what happens if it goes up in there? If it goes all the way in, now will it release? I can't do this at once. I'm just going to set you down right here for a second. Yeah, no problem. Things. It's unlatching. So here we go. First one click. That's that first click. We screw up. Hey, my door panel's off. Well, I guess I'll put my door panel back on and we'll try that a few more times, and looks like lubing it did it for me, so I hope that's all it takes. Try that before you start tearing this thing up. Who knows? Maybe you'll get lucky. Squirt it in there, squirt it down through the window, get that thing lubed up. Like I said, I was able to pull the door panel up just off of here and get in there. Even if you don't, you can seen people are using wedges and things. It's hard to see in there though. As long as you get your window open, you get up in here and you can actually spread these apart. It's really hard to get a light in there. And then just simply spray down over that latch in there. And my intention was that the lube would get into whatever may not be flipping on its own because everything's worn out. So I don't know if I'm gonna get a new latch or not. Well, let me put my door panel on and test it some more. Let's see. Since I had the door panel off, I went ahead and took my pair of ice grips and straightened that up a little bit more to give me some more play in there, because it was a little tight, and I said we'll stretch out, but that's the equivalent of it stretching out. And just in case that had something to do with it, I don't know, I went ahead and did that before I'm closing this thing up. You can see it gives me a little more room now to open the door handle without it popping right there. Alright, so door's closed, open it, close, open it, close. I'm gonna really try. The really special thing here is because it's always, it seems to have done this when I had the door locked. So I'm gonna go ahead and lock the door and unlock the door. Hopefully we won't have any problem. Unlock the door. I'm gonna call that fixed. Give me a couple more door pins, I think. I got these turned, but these are T45 star bit. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and get some new ones, and that I think will be the end of that. Door panel's back on. Vent that thing in there. That's the most bizarre thing I've ever had to deal with. So hope that works for you. On we go.